So, Ollie, Netanyahu's Washington trip is crucial for both the countries involved here, the US and Israel, especially after yesterday's news of Biden quitting from the election race.
Indeed, and Netanyahu says there is lots to talk about when he gets to that meeting with Joe Biden. It's planned for Tuesday if the 81-year-old president's recovered from COVID-19 by then. Netanyahu's then scheduled to address Congress on Wednesday.
I will tell my friends on both sides of the aisle that regardless who the American people choose as their next president, Israel remains America's indispensable and strong ally in the Middle East. I plan to see President Biden. There will also be an opportunity to discuss with him how to advance in the critical months ahead the goals that are important for both our countries. Achieving the release of all our hostages, defeating Hamas, confronting the terror axis of Iran and its proxies, and ensuring that all Israel citizens return safely to their homes in the north and in the south.
Meanwhile, the Israeli military is calling on Gazans to clear out of eastern parts of the city of Khan Yunis. It says it's preparing to forcefully operate against renewed rocket fire and militant activity from the area, which it claims to be a humanitarian zone. The military also says it's adjusting the borders of the humanitarian zone in order to keep the civilian population away from areas of combat. Israel says its attacks are aimed at armed militants, including some top Hamas military commanders. Well, Sarah Coates is joining us live now from Tel Aviv for more on this. Sarah, when it comes to the meeting between Benjamin Netanyahu and Joe Biden, what do we expect from that?
Hello there, Ollie. We just heard it from the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He says that they'll be discussing important issues for both countries. But we do need to remember, looking at these pictures that have just come out from a few hours ago at Ben Gurion Airport, who Netanyahu is travelling with. He's travelling with a number of these recently released hostages, including Noa Argamani and her father. So certainly this will be a focal point of these talks amid this increased pressure on Israel to come to an agreement and get these remaining hostages out of Gaza. Now, this comes as the IDF has just announced around half an hour ago that two more of these hostages that were thought to be being held by Hamas in Gaza actually died a few months ago. Now, this is a man in his 70s, another 35-year-old man. And there is a lot of fear, of course, among the families of these people that their loved ones are certainly at great risk of being harmed, potentially due to these ongoing Israeli military operations in Gaza. So this will certainly be a focal point of these talks, given that Benjamin Netanyahu also has announced that he will be dispatching another negotiating team to resume these discussions with key mediators over the coming days. Now, it'll also give Netanyahu the opportunity to try and reset relations with President Biden, given that they have become very, very frosty over the past few months, given that the US held up this shipment of heavy weapons. And what we do need to remember here is that President Biden still has another 6 months in the White House, and Benjamin Netanyahu has been extremely defiant, saying that he will continue this war until Israel achieves all of its goals, Ollie.
Sarah, thank you.